right, everybody. Welcome back to the Groundsman. Welcome back to Coach's Reviews. We've got a fantastic coach from St. John's, Coach Adrian Norris, back again with us. Coach, how are you doing?
Yeah, Malepi, thanks for having me. Yeah, well, thank you.
Fantastic, fantastic. It's great to have you. I was actually with one of your players, Keshef. I think his surname is
Butchman.
Latchman. Yes.
Yeah,
He plays for one of the clubs here in Midrand, and he was so excited. He was telling me he made the team to go to Michaelmas, and he was really looking forward to it. So I think maybe jumping straight into that, how was the? I know the weather was tough, man. How did you guys find it?
yeah. I think after a long hiatus of sort of touring, I think the boys are really, really excited to get out on a tour, get on a bus. You know, all those little simple things, that experience of getting on a bus with your mates,
Yeah.
down to obviously one of the most prestigious cricket festivals in the country at schoolboy level. Um, yeah, I think that touring is essential for boys. It allows them to experience many different aspects, both on and off the field. It takes them out their comfort zone.
Mm,
You know, after a day's play, where you play at home and you go home and you sort of mull over things. Yeah, you've got to get over them very quickly. You
mm,
staying in boarding houses. You're not eating food that you would normally eat. You staying, you're staying in a dormitory of 12 guys. So that in itself is difficult. So all those little nuances of touring is very difficult, and the values that boys learn from all those through the day at a festival, and obviously through the weekend is very, very important. Yeah, I mean, I think the weekend, yes, it was wet. The
mm.
first day was totally rained out. I think there was only one team that got on the field. I think it was JP against St. Charles, and they played
Yeah.
20 overs. But the second day, again, we were meant to play at the Oval against Clifton Durban,
Mm,
which inevitably didn't happen because of the waterlogged field. So we actually drove through to Durban. Fortunately enough, Clifton, obviously from Durban, share fields with Durban North College.
okay.
Alan Norton, an ex-DHS deputy headmaster, is a big cricket man, and he happily lent us the field for the day. And we had an absolute belt of a game. The second game we played against Glenwood at Old Collegians, and the third game we played at Hilton. And it was great for sort of the matric boys to end off their career at probably one of the most picturesque ovals in the country.
Absolutely. I'm pretty sure they had a lot of fun because tours almost give you sort of two types of experiences, right? You playing on fields you don't normally play on, so you always have to adjust, and as a captain as well, I'm sure your captain got a lot of experience in understanding different pitches and environments. The wet weather couldn't have been easy as well. How do you feel the boys dealt with that? With sort of the because when it's raining, it's often an on and off kind of day, right? So did how do you feel the boys coped with sort of the stop starts and having to deal with the wet field, wet ball kind of situation?
Yeah, I mean, because cricket it's part of parcel. When the rain comes, you sit and wait. I mean,
Mm.
it's a strange game in that sense. Fortunately, the first day it rained, so the decision was easy. It was made for us. Rain came down. Day 2, 3, and 4, we fortunately played right through. There was no interruption. Obviously, the ball did stay wet. So yeah, again, those experiences, both spinners and seamers have to come to terms with. Um, Obviously, going down to Natal with humidity, the ball does swing a lot. So I think up in the high felt, the ball goes around early on with the new ball for
Mm.
about 10 overs. Then obviously, it becomes quite flat, the wickets, and the ball obviously just goes straight on.
Yeah.
Where in Natal, it goes, it starts seaming early on, starts swinging around, and that lasts for 30 overs. So batsman skills and bowler skills are tested through that, because you get quite excited as a bowler seeing a ball swing around and see him around. So I think bowlers, as we always try to tell them, just stick to the play and the wicket will do the business
Yeah.
rather than try and force the issues. Yes, they adapted. Look, I think the first 2 days for us were really good. Against Clifton Durban,
Yeah.
we decided to bat first up, even though the covers had been on, and probably tactically may have not been the right decision. But we thought that the wicket would do what it did the whole day. So probably the best time was to bat early on.
Yeah.
And we were bowled out for 112 by a very disciplined and strong Clifton Durban side. I think they had 4 boys running in and bowling around, and they had a spinner who just bowled it in a particular area, and we seemed to play him from the crease, and we were bowled out for 112. And then those type of games, as schoolboys pressure is a major thing when you're chasing a small target. Sometimes it's better, most times better to chase a bigger target because you've got freedom to play. You try plan a little bit easier in a small target, and we eventually bowled Clifton Durban out for 108. So it turned out to be a really, really good game. Our guys bowled particularly well. Our keeper Joshua Brown is a particular talent. He's probably one of the best glovemen we've had at the school for many, many years. And he stood up for probably 90% of the weekend. So nothing standing back, even though it swung around. And against my advice, obviously stand back with it swinging around. Get a lot of neck-offs, but he thought the pressure would be better standing up, which he did, and he convinced us. And he's a very competent young man, and he played particularly well. Bowlers bowled really, really well. Greg Ford, our opening bowler, hit good areas. JP King hit good. CJ King. So all our seamers bowled particularly well, and then our spinners in Sahel Desai, Jack Smithyman, they were good and hit good areas.
Yeah, I saw JP also bats at the up top for you guys. Is he one of the players you're watching? You thinking he could make a career out of this thing?
Yeah, JP has been a consistent performer for many, many years. He came to a school with a reputation of scoring double hundreds at primary school. He hasn't stopped. He scored many runs. He's an Afrikaans boy coming into this this English environment.
Yeah.
Spoke very little English up front, but he is, and his own admission, he's grown tremendously both on and off the field. He's a lot more confident about who he is as a human being, and his cricket has grown particularly in the last 6 months. And not only that, he's about 6 foot. And he hits the ball a long way. Just there's obviously certain areas where he knows he's got to work on. You're making himself good positions at the crease. Sometimes he gets a bit lazy because he's got such good hands. He gets away with murder a little bit at times. But he's starting to understand how to construct innings, how to build an innings. When to go hard, when to go a little bit softer. But he's a particular talent. He's going to end up going to Northwest University, and I think that environment will be very good for him. The wickets will be nice there. I think nice and flat, and I think he's hungry. He loves the game. He's someone, even if he doesn't get to make or play at a higher level, will continue to play cricket because he enjoys the game so much.
Yeah, I think it'll be difficult to ignore him. I think that picker side is usually generally quite good. And then as soon as he's in there, I'm pretty sure the Dragons are going to have a look at him. So I think even if he thinks he can hide away and just do his studies, I doubt the guys out in Northwest will let him just sit back and not take him in. So I think, Coach, I think you had as good a Michaelmas tournament as you could probably have, given the environment, given the strength of the sides that were there. I think you guys did exceptionally well. Like you said, your keeper, incredible glovesman, man. I tried to watch some of the highlights because you guys were on pitch vision as well. It didn't necessarily record everything, but from what I was able to see, man, your keeper's got great hands. Some of the best I've seen in a long time. What are you guys looking forward to now? The boys are going into exam season now. What are you guys looking forward to, sort of coming into the next year?
Yeah, so the next phase is obviously all matric boys have moved on. They on return, 5 of them went to the provincial trials. That side hasn't been announced yet, but listening to the boys, 4 of them seem to play in the major game on the final day of trials. And hopefully some of them get acknowledged for the time and the effort they put in, but I assume that would be the same for most of the under 18 cricketers or most of the 52 boys that attended those final trials. but it's, what coaches are looking for, the balances they're looking for within the team, and obviously the conditions they're playing. And the Coke Week this year is in, I don't think it's called the Coke Week anymore, but it will take place in Poch. So they're going to have to be very smart how they pick their teams, and the combinations of both spin and seamers and all-rounders, which have become such an important part. For us now, we start with the younger team. We've got 8 new boys in the group, very, very green, very, very raw. Just the simple things, I think, where your standards need to be high both on and off the field. So your time management, your work ethic, your awareness of the little things will get you through things, and they are sort of just behind the 8 ball at the moment. So for us, we're going to have to, it's cricket and coaching in general over the years, been involved in many different codes at schoolboy level. I think it's not instructional as it was in the past. You do what I say, and I think at times at schoolboy level there's a place for that. But I think it's growth for them. They're going to grow. They're going to understand what they can and what they can't do, understand their strengths, their weaknesses, how they complement the team and as a group. We've played 2 games as a team now. We've lost both pretty narrowly. There's obviously debriefs that need to be done through those games. But, as I said to you previously on your previous show, that cricket is an aspect of what our boys experience at St. John's. Many of them are academics. Many of them are drama students, cultural activities. So it's one aspect of the many different aspects that the boys are involved with at St. John's. There's leadership, there's prefectship. That's quite demanding on boys now. So we will obviously look to balance that. We'll practice 3 times a week. We'll do some extras for boys on extras. So it's actually an exciting time for me. It's always quite nice when you sort of know where you are and the expectations aren't too high, and the growth within the team hopefully will be exponential.
Yeah, absolutely, Coach. Thank you so much. We really appreciate your time. I think this is an exciting time for a lot of the teams around the country. You've spoken to a few coaches, and they're also talking about bringing the youngsters into the side. Usually around that March time, the youngsters start to catch up and raise their game to really understand what it is to play at a first team level. And then towards sort of the back end of the year, that's when they start to kick on. So we really look forward to following you, continue to follow you. Congratulations, Coach. I think you're doing a fantastic job with the boys. We're crossing fingers for some of your boys to get into the provincial side and to go to Coke Week. We know it's a big year for the Under-19 World Cup coming up next year. So it'll be lovely to see some of the boys go out there and do us proud as a country. So thank you so much for joining us, Coach. Really appreciate it.
Well, thanks for your time, and thanks for having me on your show.
Absolutely welcome. Thank you guys for joining us for Coach's Reviews. Coach Adrian Norris from St. John's. Really appreciate him from us. See you next time.